Sun going down in Kansas City, Kansas. CW Sports welcomes you to Kansas Speedway. Tonight is race 10 for the O'Riley Auto Parts Series in 2026. This marks the 27th time we've raced here, but only the second time we've done it under the lights. So all junior motorsports front row. We talked about it. Quapple outside, Byron inside. We are racing at Kansas.
Well, the guy that was ready was Corey Day. Yeah, big shot to the back of the one car, trying to get him out in front. It was an awkward start all around. A couple cars getting into each other. You got three wide back there.
Well, that's Brent Cruz.
Oh, yeah, he's
in
going
that bright
fast.
green-blue machine. First ever start on 1.5 miles, trying to gather it up.
Well, in Brent Cruz's defense, he's never wide.
Never run on that, right?
You got to kind of feel it out. As you see, he is in the nest right now of all those drivers, trying to get a good feel for his car.
Where's the grip level out right now? And they're playing games with us again. The two Hendrick cars are up front, but that is Corey Day, the young driver from California that jumps to P1, leads the opening lap. Byron side by side for second. Josh Balicki out of line.
Oh, and that's going to burn up a valuable set of tires.
Still green. Hold the brake.
Oh, we get the caution and upside down as Carson Quapple. Barrel rolling down the back straightaway.
Oh, my goodness.
How in the world? Here.
Oh, he just got a little loose.
Oh, it's just
Wow.
the contact with the outside wall, and then Retzloff hit him in the rear, and man, you just don't see that very often at a track of this size, but get a little bit of air under the car, and then you're just along for the ride as those tires start to bite. That's what creates the roll.
And you see all the flaps that deploy there to try and keep that car on the ground, but when he gets hit by Retzloff there at that angle, the air gets underneath and sort of isn't able to, the flaps are not able to help, right? Once that air gets underneath, that's a 3,400-pound car that just suddenly flips up, into the air and it looks almost weightless in some respects.
You want to have those controls to control your own destiny, and you don't have that. And I will tell you that when it goes up in the air, it gets quiet. And as I said, what took 4 or 5 seconds for us to watch live on TV feels like an eternity inside the car, and it's a scary feeling for fire, for smoke. Am I going to get trapped? Like, what's going to happen? The car's full of fuel right now as well. We just started this race, so the fuel cell's packed, and you're helpless inside of the car. It's one of the scariest feelings you're going to have. Row 2, Byron Taylor Gray.
Corey Day, great start.
Yeah, super good launch. Again, on the outside, those tires only had a couple of laps on them, but good launch. And you mentioned it. You get on the outside, you have that momentum, but you got to make sure you get them cleared off turn 2, or you might not be in the preferred position. Look at our bumper, those drivers highlighted in green, eligible for the Dash for Cash, going for $100,000. One of those, Carson Quapple, obviously out of the race. Big move here for Jesse Love, swinging down to the bottom of the racetrack in the
Threw it to the bottom there. Now to the inside of William Byron, 3 right off the corner. He was going for 3 or 4 cars in one corner there for Jesse Love.
39, Ryan Sieg started outside the top 10. So did Brandon Jones. And they're already working on spots inside the top 5. What a start to the race for that duo.
Gosh, look at those front 2. They've already trended all the way to the top. We saw Cup practice and qualifying. That's where everybody migrated to.
With a lot on the line that are done early. And Sam Mayer, qualified 19th, drives around William Byron for 7th. 41 has got it wound up.
Yeah, and the other guy that we were just riding on board with, Brandon Jones, 3-time winner here at Kansas Speedway. We saw he started 15th, has worked his way up. The car seems to be good. Right now for Coles, we see a battle for 3rd. Brandon Jones.
He's flying.
He is flying.
This place has been all about Joe Gibbs Racing. Teammates going at it here. Jones around Taylor Gray. I mentioned the success for Jones, but overall, 14 wins here, 14 of the last 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing at Kansas Speedway. And give a nod to Jesse Love, who's been outstanding on the 1.5 miles in his career, in particular here at Kansas, reigning champ up to 5th as he sneaks to the inside of Ryan Sieg.
And then ride the wall almost all the way around the corner. You can venture off just a little bit, but as you see the 7 get that little bit of a run down through the middle,
I was going to say it. It's coming. You want to hang on because we're going to get the comp caution, and you want to be in control of this race. So the Whelen caution lights are on. For us
to keep up with the fall off in the cool conditions, Kim.
See, Brandon Jones stopped in his box, the middle of your screen. He said, I kept building tight center exit. And she said, but I love my entry, so don't hurt that. They'll take tires, fuel, slight air pressure adjustment. Corey Day there at the bottom, fighting tight off. He said, I definitely need more turn, but he said, I was beating my stuff up there running the top. I definitely need to make it live longer.
And now the progressive race off pit road. And look at that. I mean, Brandon Jones just right on cue. +2. Day goes to second. Here they are, Poet restart zone. Jones and Gray on the front row.
Great restart there by Taylor Gray on the bottom. See if he can stay beside Brandon Jones.
Day wants a repeat at the start of the race when he goes to the outside and gets the lead, but it's going to be Brandon Jones in charge.
Look at Allgaier. Had a really good run on the bottom. We'll see what he decides to do. See him fan it out. Allgaier able to sail off in there.
We're looking at 3 wide here. Austin Hill driving between the 2 teenagers from Joe Gibbs Racing. Look at Brent Cruz.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the great pit stop. Good on the restart. He's 5th in line looking for more. William Sawalas back behind them. Good start to the race for the 18.
Gosh, look at this racetrack. This is why we love coming here. Look at all the options these guys have. 2 Gibbs cars out front right now. Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray. 1 to 2 tenths quicker than these guys running side by side.
Oh, way up next to the wall.
And he slides it out there. Maybe another kiss for the 17. Allgaier back by for 3rd. Here comes Brent Cruz. As those 2 were messing around, Cruz said, okay, I'll come up and join the party.
Yeah, that pass is so hard to make. You saw the momentum that Corey Day had on the outside. And if you're Brent Cruz and you're in that position, 17's been on the top all day long.
Not quite. Right
he
there.
does right here.
A little bit. That's what I thought I saw. So, yeah, he gets down on his right rear and loosens up Austin.
And then Austin was going to be okay, and then Swallows came through there. Got him in the left rear tire. You see the damage it did to the 18. Austin starts to chase that just a little bit as Jesse's getting right on his door. I think I'm going to agree with you.
It's going to be a tense meeting.
That meeting is going to be, why are we doing this 38 laps in?
Think about this, though. I mean, we're still stage 1. We've had 4 drivers that entered top 10 in points that have had a problem. Retzloff and Quapple done for the night. And you think about Austin Hill, this is one of his better tracks. They needed to get things going in the right direction, and now this.
And for William Sawalich, you have a choice to make when you see cars spinning, which is go to the bottom or the top. Made the wrong choice here.
Good start by both of those guys, both Gray and Brandon Jones. You see them getting locked together.
Great job by the whole field there. No real checkups or spinning the tires. You see some of those newer tires like Jesse Love making big moves towards the back there. He might actually get back to the top 10.
Brandon Jones so fast through the middle of turns 1 and 2, was able to get clear outside of Taylor Gray. Taylor moved up and tried to run the middle. Look at that, a little further back. You see him 4 wide.
Big wiggle for Corey Day there on the bottom. Just got up to the left rear.
No, 3 wide. This is for second, right down the boulevard. Justin Allgaier between Day and Gray going for second.
Allgaier in a great position right here. You can see that 17 all yawed out on the bottom of Corey Day as Allgaier has to check up.
It's deja vu for Corey Day and Justin Allgaier once again down into one side by side, and Corey tried to clear him the exit. A lot cleaner this time, got away with it. Big wiggle there for Taylor Gray.
Hey, Love got those tires. Got Brandon Jones leading laps here at Kansas for the 5th consecutive race. And he's going to lead lap 45, which gets him the green and white checkered flag and the victory in stage number 1. Day was second, Allgaier third. How about Allgaier? Top 5 in every stage this year but 1. When the stage wrapped in stage 1. Jesse Love got those 2 tires. He's restarting 9th. Brandon Jones restarts from 10th, won the race off pit road, and they were dancing through the Poet restart
It was
zone.
a big checkup on the outside lane there. It was like Alfredo didn't quite get going when everyone expected it. Harrison Burton had a big checkup and an accordion through the whole backside of the field. We saw cars getting out of line. Somehow all got away with it.
Yeah, and I want you to pay attention. As you see a race for the lead right here on the front, but if you watch back, 8 or 10 cars, these guys that have tires, the difference in speed, not just of those cars, but also with a little bit fresher tires, these guys will be going as wide as they can. William Byron going up
trying to get by Anthony Alfredo.
But Jeff Burton hanging tough in that inside lane. Alfredo trying to get the race lead. Brandon Jones on 4 fresh tires has led the most laps tonight. Couple of laps into the stage under green. Here comes the 20. He is strong. Going to second. He'll probably have the lead by the time we get to the start-finish line.
Yeah, and the
maybe. Boy, I'll tell you, Byron not giving it up in the 88.
Yeah, Jones has the better tires, has the grip. Finally is able to clear him right here. Byron fought back hard on the outside being the preferred groove at this track so far throughout this race. Kim, do you have more than 20?
Oh! And now the Wheeling caution lights are on. We'll get with Kim in a moment. It's yellow number 5 of the night, Anthony Alfredo.
Stay up.
In a tire issue, and he goes into the wall.
You see it go down right there. All the debris fly out on the front stretch. One of the worst spots for the right front to go down through the tri-oval right there. There was about a lap prior, the 87 car had some smoke of Austin Green. He got to pit lane. I don't know if maybe there was debris on the track or something he could have hit there.
In our second stage. Already 41 laps out front for Brandon Jones tonight.
Saw Jesse Love kind of starting to move Jones up. Jones trying to move him down. Watch right here through the middle of 1 and 2, though. That 20 car is so fast right through the middle, but to gas it up. Clear him. Byron's going to have a run here. Does he do anything with it? He's going to get to the inside now of Love, heading down into turn 3 and trying to clear him.
Restarts at Kansas, the land of opportunity.
Byron sent it off in there and then slid up in front of Jesse Love and is able to maintain that second place position. And for Jesse Love, that was the best you could hope for. You were hoping to clear Byron, most likely stay in front of him, but wasn't able to do that, sliding back into third.
Here, but Dean has been really good at this track. Top 10 here last fall. Another 3-wide episode here. Gray, Day, and Allgaier riding that outside lane.
Yeah, Justin was able to get to the outside of Corey. Oh, wow. Corey Day on the exit of 4. Carry that momentum down the backstretch. Those two almost collide. We're more concerned is when Byron was having a bit of an issue there. 260 isn't quite there. Once you get above 270 for sure, an extended period of time that can do serious damage to the engine.
Now, the good news is, I mean, you got just a couple of laps to go in the stage. So,
yes.
I mean, if you can withstand that, get back, wipe the debris off when you make your pit stop.
Byron, you saw him get super loose, gets up into the wall right there. Sammy Smith gets his inside. I don't know if he has a tire going down. It looked to me like he's had a soft tire as he drove in, but he's still able to maintain decent speed right here. Another Hendrick car, Corey Day, I saw him around the bottom a second ago. Another one of those cars that looks really good on the long run if we get into this final stage. Be content with what you have. See, Brandon Jones is going to get that off of his grill right here before he comes down.
Yeah, he'll do that, and then he'll take the green and white checkered flag. Stage sweep for Brandon Jones. Only second time in his career he's done that. Did it in 2020 at Fontana. Good race here for 5th in the stage. Day finishing in front of Sammy Smith. And he finished the deal. Final stage, off and rolling. Here comes the 20 in control again.
Oh, they're going to make it 4 wide now, going down into turn 1.
Taylor Gray painting the white line. Middle is Sheldon Creed. And once again, center corner off. Brandon Jones flexing his muscles. 20 trying to get control in the outside lane.
Look at the momentum that Creed's going to have on the bottom. He's going to try to slide up in front of Jones right here.
New race leader from the back to the front, going for the dash for cash. Sheldon Creed leading at Kansas.
What a series of moves by Sheldon there. He backed up in the restart box, got a great run, and still got taken advantage of into turn 1 by Taylor Gray, getting below him on the apron. Fought back to the middle to take the lead. Excellent job, Sheldon Creed.
Allgaier around his teammate. 7 going around the 8 of Sammy Smith. Corey Day getting impatient.
Shorter distance around the bottom these guys have. See, he's now moved down, kind of running the middle.
Oh, wow. There goes Sammy Smith. Day sideways as well. Ryan Seed goes for a ride. Everybody trying to keep it off the wall. Minimal damage. Caution number 7 as the Wheeling caution lights illuminate one more time.
Doesn't look like too much damage to the 8. I know the 17.
Definite right front.
A little bit of,
there.
right front fender damage. They're going to have to address that. Back just gets to that left rear, which is a super vulnerable place for the car that you get close to. and Sammy just loses all the air on that rear spoiler when he gets the air packed on the left rear. Gets sideways. Looked like they were going to drive both each other into the wall, but got detached.
And you see Corey Day get to his inside.
It's just right here.
Slight damage. I mean, just barely makes contact. But the 8's in a vulnerable position right there, the exit of the corner.
And it starts with the air packing there in that left rear and removing the air from the rear spoiler where the 8 starts to get sideways, and then the hit there, you can see that finishes him off.
Look who comes through. 28 of Kyle Sieg inside the top 10. There's an awesome story to tell in the final stage at Kansas. Coming from the outside lane, 95 to go as we run it through the Poet restart zone.
Looked like that top lane was almost locked together as you see Taylor Gray giving Creed a big shove down into turn 1.
I didn't know if he was ever going to release him.
Look at Allgaier on the top. The momentum he's going to have on the exit right here. Can he do anything with it?
He chose that outside lane. Dylan mentioned he was 5th prior to the choose. He goes to the high side, and it's paying dividends so far.
Yeah, he has to go way up just trying to get clean air on the nose. Oh, you see Jones get loose underneath his teammate after chasing up the racetrack just a little bit. Taylor loving this.
Go back to Las Vegas. Taylor Gray, so good on the 1.5 miles there. Remember, he and Creed got together. He hit the wall and had his day in prematurely, but he was really good on that intermediate track, trying to make something happen here, flashing to the inside of his teammate Jones for second.
That's the first time we've seen the 20 passed really all night long. As you see Allgaier
happening again.
Yeah, Allgaier getting a big run on the top. The 7 car coming to life at the right time tonight.
Apparently that encouragement works. Got a great restart, went to the top side. Tons of momentum. Now looking again the outside of Taylor Gray.
Outside on the wall.
Get that momentum.
As he goes to the high side, Jones moving down low, waiting right behind him, Jesse Love. And typically you start to see that window open right around 60 laps remaining.
You and him.
As Brandon Jones gets the inside of Justin Allgaier here. Probably clear him down before into turn 1. We just ticked into the longest green flag run of the day to explain how crazy this day has been. That's 22 laps, longest of the day right here. I've been looking for this, and we finally have had a long enough run. We're at 36 laps in this run where that can really come into play. And he's been able to hold off Corey Day doing that, but I've been waiting to see who would be the first to get up there and really utilize as Corey goes to the bottom.
Doesn't clear it. He's like, cut me a break, buddy. We got the same sponsor. Come on.
I thought he was going to get it easy. Couldn't close the deal.
Needs to be able to slide up in front of him right here. Byron's going to have a big run. He'd have to cut him a break. He's not going to. Oh, he does.
Day slides up, completes the pass, and he's now 7th.
What do you think he goes to the wall now?
What can he do now that he's got, a little bit of clean air? Does he commit to running that higher line? Oh, you saw the exhaust come out as he was out, kind of chasing it up the track just a little bit.
Yeah, this is the very first car of the leaders to make what will be their final scheduled stop. Taylor said that they were just trending too tight on that run. That was his biggest complaint. 4 tires and fuel for the 54.
I mean, look left of your screen. Jones is closing down on Creed, and it's going to be so compelling to see how they handle things as far as when you call them in and the game you can make on those fresher tires if you pit a lap or 2 earlier.
And that we've seen issues with those Haas factory teams before. We saw that for Kyle Sieg. He's affiliated with Haas factory. Keep an eye on that.
It's just up. The only thing really they were talking about was trying to improve his minimum speed in the center of the corner. They got the entry a little bit better. The middle was still too slow. You see the wrench in the back window. They're going to make a chassis adjustment just to try to help that 2-car get rotated. 4 tires and fuel for Jesse Love. We told you about them improving the short run and the fire-off. Justin said we moved the needle on that fire-off, but at the end of that long run, I was paying the price for it. They'll go around and change 4 tires and add fuel as well. Looks like some air pressure and tape for the 7.
So Gray and Allgaier giving up spots inside the top 5 to pit.
This pit crew has been one of the best, if not the best, all night, looking to get time made up on pit road. As you see Sheldon Creed stopping in his box, he said starting to build a little tighter corner to center later this run. He also had a message for his spotter. He said do a better job on getting lappers out of the way. A little frustration from the driver of the 00.
Creed was in control. Jones gets away. Looks like he's going to pass It's close. Look at him coming off. Drag race off the pit lane. Taylor Gray pitted earlier, and he drives right by him. Now, keep in mind, this right now is not the battle for the race lead because other drivers have to make stops. But when you start thinking about the cycle, 54 has been able to leapfrog here by coming a couple of laps earlier.
And it's a massive lead. It's almost the entire backstretch. And the car that's actually leading the race right now, Corey Day, is directly behind Taylor Gray right here as he crosses the start-finish line. It's going to all be, we talked about it was almost 2 seconds a lap he was making up before the pit cycle. Now it's going to be even lap times for the next 8 to 10 laps, and then maybe these guys can start creeping in on it. Tenths a lap. Oh, Ryan C was trying to get on the pit road. Lost it. He might be okay, though. He's got it going.
Able to hang on to it, no caution. He gives up the top spot, has it get away from him coming down the pit lane, so it all cycles back now. Taylor Gray in charge of the field in front of Jeb Burton, who still needs to pit. Teammate Brandon Jones, the pass-through penalty, paying his debt to NASCAR for the uncontrolled tire when he made his green flag pit stop.
We're looking and aiming for 40-point days where they're on track for that or better here this afternoon. And he also said, look, Justin Allgaier and the 17 have set the bar, and now it's our job to meet it. We're trying to elevate everything we can. We've seen that tonight with Sheldon Creed currently running in P2, Dylan.
And it speaks to maybe how good the 7 team is right now, that third place, if that's where they end up today, might be considered a little bit disappointing, but it has been another fantastic showing, all things considered. Second most stage points and in position to go for their 7th straight top 5 finish this year. The balance got away from them, it seemed like, a little bit earlier tonight, but the long run, as always, it seems like is a strength for them tonight. He's closed in a little bit on the 0-0, and I think lap traffic, Kim, should help tighten that battle up for second even more.
At the front of this field, it is condensing. Sheldon Creed has been catching Taylor Gray, as we had great information from Dylan and Kim through the field. As Brent Cruz side drafts here of William Byron. Down into clears him.
Well, he's checking every box tonight. So impressive for Brent Cruz.
Think about last week. He's racing for the win with Connor Zillich and Kyle Larson, and this week racing for a top 5 position with William Byron. So impressive.
If he had done this after getting practice yesterday, I maybe wouldn't have been surprised. But to do this and have not been on this racetrack until we went green today, pretty remarkable. Josh Balicki serving is a pick, the lap car. Cruz able to complete the pass. 19 is now in 5th.
Rogers right up against the wall. There's some through the middle. There's some guys running the bottom, and that, you get 2 or 3 laps with those guys continuing to race the way they are, that's going to suck in Creed and Allgaier into this race.
C gets around Dean Thompson for 10th. As I said, they're the last 2 on the lead lap. Going to be 15 laps to go this time around. And that delta right at a 1.5 seconds, Gray in front of Creed.
Yeah, Gray wants those guys to get it settled. It looks like they have here. He might have a free lane here on the bottom. And this is a huge pass right here. He's got to get by this lap car immediately.
That's Brennan Poole making his 200th career start tonight. Running 19th, and Gray can't get by.
Brennan's going to make it difficult because he's running that very top line. Taylor's going to have to sail it off in here and see if he can clear him, but he can't. This is huge right here. Creed is going to have lots of momentum. That's a tough pass. I don't know if the 54 car can do that. But he lost his momentum, and once he did, he just is stuck below Brennan Poole there. He's sliding right now. They have a lot of laps on these tires. Doesn't quite have the grip. He's got to gather it back up and make another run at it to get the momentum as he turns down off of 2 here. But Brennan's got a good exit by running that top line. See what it does here. Can he clear him?
You know Gray's on the radio yelling to the spotter,
at
get him out of my way. Gray is all clear. Let's listen to the radio.
Stay locked in here. Trying to get some help.
Yeah. Adam said it. You called it. Crew chief and spot, Adam, all in one night. Unbelievable job.
7 laps to go. Gray gets by Poole. He's clear. Here comes Creed trying to do the same. Boy, he's closed up on him. What a finish it's going to be. Allgaier coming as well. This is outstanding stuff.
And you got to complete this down into 3 if you're Sheldon Creed. And he will.
Now, yeah.
100% Creed will sail it off in here. Yeah, I've been surprised Creed hasn't tried something like running the wall, like you mentioned, because he just isn't quite getting there. Oh, there's a bit of lap traffic. It didn't quite check up Taylor Gray, and Creed actually lost a little bit of time in those last 2 corners.
Well, Taylor's done an exceptional job of keeping his composure with all this lap traffic, not trying to force the issue. Obviously doesn't have the quickest car on the track because of the tire deficit. An awesome job so far.
And there's the white flag, sponsored by Credit One Bank for once ahead. One more time around for Taylor Gray. Oh, the stress.
Looking on the wall. He's doing it.
The stress, the anxiety of trying to hang on for a victory.
It's so
Sheldon
awesome.
Creed giving it all he's got. Down the back straightaway. Turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Some lap cars ahead, but they shouldn't play a role. Taylor Gray off of 4, back to the start-finish line. He gets his 2nd career victory at Kansas Speedway.
That man right there made an excellent call.
It's a team effort. Team effort by Team 54.
You are the man!
We agree.
2 career wins for Taylor Gray and 2 wins at Kansas atop the pit box for Jason Ratcliffe. $2,000 in the dash for cash. But he wanted the big trophy. And tonight, that's reserved for Taylor Gray. Bit of a slow start to 2026 for this second-year driver from New Mexico. But he showed what he's got here tonight, finishing the deal in front of some really good ones. He gets the win. 3 champions inside the top 6, Allgaier, Love, and William Byron.
And he truly burnt it down right there. Nothing left in those rear tires.
How about Joe Gibbs Racing at Kansas? They've won 15 of the last 20 here, and 4 in a row with 4 different drivers. John Hunter Nemechek, Eric Almirola, Brandon Jones, and this guy, Taylor Gray. You know, he's been flirting around that chase cut line. You don't want to flirt with that. You want to have a cushion. And tonight he takes a jump and all the points that come with this win. Talking about the success of Jason Ratcliffe. Tonight his 60th win atop the pit box in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, best all time.
He's so excited he's not getting off the car.
I don't think I've seen him that excited ever.
So he's going to celebrate with the fans here and get that checkered flag, and then he'll drive it over to Mobile One Victory Lane. Let's hear from Sheldon Creed down to Kim.